What is up, everyone? I hope y'all had a fantastic week, and thanks again for joining. But we are out here today starting episode number 21 at a build you've probably never seen before. And there's a good reason for that. It's only, I think, graced my screen on one stream, but this is a project that a friend on the server has been working on. And unfortunately, his mind's taken him to other fantastic things, so I decided to take it over. So let's pop our wings on here, and I'll give you all a quick tour of what's in the area here. So let's go. So this is a huge ice biome, and you could have probably noticed that without me even having said a word. But on top of this hill that rises from the plains, we decided to build a fortress, a citadel, an area to keep the invaders away. And on this high ground, we've gone with a mixture of black stone, deep slate, and regular stone variants to form what I think so far is an epic castle. Now, there is definitely some missing parts, and that's what we are hoping to try and complete here this episode. So, why come out here now? Well, it's not for the phantoms, I'll tell you that. It's because I'm just sick and tired of digging right now. And let's get to a bed real quick so we can get those nasty nighttime creatures out of our hair. All right, and with the sun doing the work it intended to do and destroying the phantoms, we're now here on the little exterior of this build. So, I want to just spend the entirety of this episode transforming this place into the glorious ice castle it can be. And that's going to range from completing all the towers, putting a lining on the roof so that it pops, and doing some ice work. So, we aren't going to touch the interior at all. That's going to be left back up to my friend once he finishes his big dig out in the middle of nowhere. But for us, we're going to head right into tackling this and get those towers built up. So I have some plans for a couple of them, and I'm excited to share them with you. So without further ado, let's just hit a quick little time lapse here and build ourselves some epic castles. Okay, well, I know what your first thought is. What was that? It's not much. I literally just built up the towers in a very standard pattern here. Just alternating between stone, cobblestone, and stone bricks. Nothing special at all. Well, that's where this next part comes in. It's a process, you see. Most of my builds I plan in creative, and this is how I do them. So I figured on this partially built build, I would just show you all my process. And the first part is just getting walls up, getting heights, seeing if you like how everything looks. The second part is adding windows, and then it's the details. So let's take a quick fly around, make sure we're okay with the heights from a majority of the angles, and then we'll start with the windows. All right, so let's spin around here. We're gonna kind of skim low to the ground, but from what I'm seeing, I like the height of this first one. This second one is gonna be more of a battlement than a tower, so we're gonna put a little like trebuchet or catapult on top of it, so I'm very happy with that one there. This third one's going to be a taller tower, so it's going to have a nice spiky roof. And then, of course, another battlement here, but this one's on a little cliff, which I am loving how that looks. Then, yep, I think overall, it looks really good. Obviously, it's very flat at the moment, but we still have patios, windows, ledges, all sorts of stuff to put in here to really give it depth. And once we finish the roof and give the roof some more color and detail, it'll pop then. So for now, I'll bring y'all in just base by base, tower by tower, and have y'all tell me or show y'all what I get there window wise. So let's just go ahead and start with some of the smaller ones, then we'll work towards the big one because that one's going to be the hardest challenge to get exactly what we want to see there. So let's just start with the one right behind us here. Let's go. Alright, well this first tower is nothing special with the windows carved out, but we'll talk a little bit about what I want to do and how I think about the windows and what goes above them. So I knew I wanted each floor to be about 5 tall in these towers, and so that lines up perfectly with where this would be. So this right here in itself is going to be a floor level, which I personally like. I know it truly doesn't matter, but to me, that's just visually pleasing for that actually be the middle point between windows. So from there, this is a snowy area. So typically with snowy areas, you want to build roofs that'll shed the snow fast. So these smaller sloped roofs like this one right here, and this one here, and probably the biggest one, which is right by here, right there, aren't the best for this area, but larger roofs like that are. So what I want to do above these windows is I want to place a solid block and then 2 stairs coming down each side. So kind of give it a quick little peek in the small area that we can. And then I want to wrap around some more decorations, make this other areas pop. There isn't going to be many flowers and stuff like that placed on the sides of them because again, with a snowy biome like this, it'll be hard to grow it. So there will be the occasional fern here and there, but nothing else quite past that. So I guess let's just get right to that. Not going to do a time lapse, just going to bring y'all in once it's done and hope y'all enjoy it. All right, well, it got a little cold while I was building here, so I thought I'd warm my hands by the fire. But let's quickly hop into our little free cam and I'll show you what I've done here so far. So right where I'm sitting is a little catapult on one of the battlements I talked about earlier, and it just kind of overlooks this plain area here. And then we finished this taller tower that has one side piece sticking out here and a little bit of a, bump out here as well. But overall, I think the two of them combined look great. I think the windows are a nice addition to change up this very flat face around the rest of it. So let's just hop to the next one. Start changing up there, making it look better. Let's get this whole area between this tower and this tower done. So yeah, let's just hop right over there and make it look nice as well. Well everyone, we now stand on this parapet with the second section done. So let's hop into free cam and take a look at it real quick. And yeah, this time I added a lot more ice because I just figured this valley here would have collected it over time. It would have been spilling down more than over here. Like over here, it's just going to be hanging a bit, and typically they tend to drip more off the hanging. I don't know. That's just what I thought in my mind would look fantastic there. And frankly, it does. I think it works all really well together. I didn't make many structural changes, but I added this little output right here. I added ourselves another little patio up here. And I also made it to where this sticks out a bit at the top now. And then last but not least, I kind of went into our third section we're going to work on here and added this part right here because this is where our entrance is going to be. And I thought, you know, a little extra defense right by the entrance that's higher up but still close down would work well there. So I just popped this out a little bit and I think it works well right there. But for the most part, I'm happy with the ice work that I've done along here. I think it looks really good and I think it adds a splash of color that this place desperately needs. So without any other delays, let's just come right to here and get this entrance area all tuned up. There's not going to be as many windows here because you want less areas where they can kind of break in if you close the castle doors. So that's where we're going to start now. And let's just kind of fill out this whole lower area right here with an entrance. So let's just hop right to that. All right, and what seemed like a blink of an eye to you, the next section is done. I see I'm still getting XP from a creeper I killed, or it's just being weird. But anyways, let's take a tour around and see what we've done. We've gone to free cam. We can see here we've just added a small little platform, a huge mound of ice, and then just some little ices all around as well as the door. Now, I thought to myself, this is the security and this is the most secure building, so probably this whole first floor of it underneath this stripe we put in probably won't have many windows at all. I might put a couple just right here above the door as there are little portcullis where either an archer could stick their head out or you could pour some burning oil or something just to keep anyone who gets to the door out. But I'm going to skip completing this tall tower for now. This will be our last thing. And let's just move on to this last section over here. It covers just the area between the tall tower and this other one. So let's wrap that up. And then I guess we also have a couple more spaces right here. So let's just go from the tall tower to over here now and see how much we can get done. So let's just head that way and get right to it. All right, so this section is finished. While I haven't changed much to the roof as you saw before, I did change these borders just a little bit and the borders all around the rest of the build as well. Well, first let's show off what we did here. First off, we'll put some Scorpios up here where you can sit, fire one of these little projectiles through there. We got two of them and they kind of rotate on these platforms. And no matter which way they're turned, there should always be a 1 block gap between them. But you know, you should only be facing that way, or that way. There's no need to face, maybe. But anyways, that's what I did to the roof area up here. If we go into free cam, we can see on the sides, I've added this new trim border all the way around. And I think it adds the detail it needed in that spot. I always thought that streak kind of stood out a bit and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. But we fixed that now. And so we just added a couple little roofs here and there on the side, balcony, just to make some things stand out so the wall isn't as flat. And then on the inside here, we can see these windows kind of line up either side of this, I guess, jutting out point. And this is, I believe, where told me he was planning on putting the throne room. So I thought maybe the throne could go there. There's just the royal family little area on this side over here. And then there's some balconies that surround the whole room. But that's up to him to decide. I'm mostly focusing on the outside here, which we are almost done with. I have one more section from here to add stuff to. So let's just hop right to that, add a nice little roof on this part here, and then we'll talk if we're going to do anything here. I think said he had plans for it, so I might leave it untouched, which is a little anticlimactic or just unfulfilling because I like finishing builds, but I might have to leave that undone so can do something with it. But for now, we're just going to hop right over here and finish up what we can along this edge here. So hope to see y'all in just a sec with something y'all like. All right, on perfect timing as usual as that sun rises. We're wrapping everything up here. Now, I made this tower kind of plain on purpose because I wanted to make kind of like everything was just built over time, not necessarily the same styles and stuff. And I thought for the most part my styles have been too similar. So I added just a different tower to stand out from the rest right here, and I think it looks pretty great. It's not the most amazing looking tower, but I kind of like it, and I think it fits well in here. But for the rest of the area, I just added another little pop-out porch here, bunch of windows everywhere to let light into the place, and then just added the rest of the ice at the bottom. Nothing super special, but I think putting it all together, it looks quite incredible. And so you probably noticed it when I was back over here, but we are missing just the glass in here. I ran out for what I had here. I have to go back to my storage base to get more. I just didn't want to do that before I recorded. I wanted to give y'all fresh thoughts on what's in my mind and what I did, as well as we added these little portlet cuts here. I think that's what they're called. But anyways, they're archer holes, so they can shoot out of them and be less likely to be hit back. And I think they work really well on this tower. As you know, I'm looking at this place, this slope right here is the gentlest up, so if anything, this is where I'd attack from into the base. But that's just how I think about stuff around here. And yeah, overall, I think the whole place is looking great. Certainly has his work cut out for him figuring out what to do with all this snow. But for our part here, I believe we are done. Like I mentioned, we're not doing this tower. I'm leaving that up to But we now have a new project to show you on pretty much the other side of the world. So let's just glide on down and head through this portal, and I'll show you what else is happening on the server right now this week. Alright, so we're now on the other side of the world, like I said, by a new perimeter that's being created. And I'll let explain more of that when he gets here to you. But just to show you where we are, here's the map. This is the area we're working on right here. And the nearest thing would be our raid farm. But everything else we have built is there's the fortress, there's our guild hall, there's the lake we're working on. So we're a bit ways out from everything else. But I think I heard come through the portal. Let's have him tell us what's going on here. What's happening?
So the plan is I want to build a perimeter to make all the farms that I want to.
You have a list of what farms you're wanting to do?
I'm working on that.
Okay, okay. I won't pressure you. I won't pressure you. Okay.
Yeah, that's the plan. Then clear this entire area down to bedrock.
It looks like you've already gotten at least one area started and the water all dammed up.
Sure have.
Is this fertile dirt? Is that
What?
over here? Looked like there was a glitch or something under the water here. Yeah, look. I didn't know that could exist underwater.
Well, misclick.
I mean, it's cool. I just didn't know that was possible. I thought as soon as water was on top of that, it deleted it. But now,
Well,
why are you putting water down the sides of what looks already all the way down to bedrock?
because I want a clean edge all the way down.
Are you going to decorate the edge or just you wanted it flat to begin with so it looks like you were in creative and copy and pasted this out?
Well, I think it looks a lot better with a clean edge.
Okay.
But I'm gonna start drilling this side down, and if I regret it, I'm gonna remove all the water. But
Okay.
it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So
Are you going to gather all the diamonds while you do this?
yeah,
All right. I want to know
probably.
how many you get. I hope you get a lot.
Yeah, of course you do.
Well, I mean, it's not we're really the only two on the server who are consistently here, so we don't need it for anything. I'll just use it to build. You know, it's a nice shiny blue rock.
It sure is.
All right. Well, thanks. I'm looking forward to this, and I'll try and help you as we go build a couple things here and there, but probably won't show any more of that on camera. That's it. We're just gonna build a quick little perimeter here, put a bunch of farms since, you know, the rest of the world has more of just village builds and stuff like that. So we're gonna come through and add all that here. So I'll catch y'all up later, probably when it's all dug out, and Earl will tell us how many diamonds he gets. All right, well, I just wanted to thank everyone for joining me today as we built ourselves our lovely yet foreboding frozen fortress. And I hope y'all join me next week when we're back to digging, but we're gonna be adding just a little more intrigue and lore into our world here. So, hope y'all join me again. And again, been saying again a lot. Thank everyone so much for watching. Hope y'all have a lovely, lovely rest of the week.